Many Trimbigonians are somewhere between concerned and terrified in the wake of current events. Yet, I'm seeing a lot of people online and in real life calling for foreign powers to come in and save us. We need saving, and this powerful external force we think is going to come in and make everything better. It's going to get rid of the criminals and it's going to create some sort of utopia, or at least something that's better than what is going on right now. And let's be real, most of these calls seem to be coming from people within my community, from my fellow Indo Trinbagonians. And I definitely sympathize with people both in Trinidad and Tobago and in Venezuela who are suffering, who are experiencing a quality of life on a day to day basis that is so terrible that they think that anything is better. Any kind of change is good because at least there's a chance that things will improve. I grew up not wealthy, not middle class, not even working class. I would say that I grew up in the underclass, and there are a lot of us. I was very lucky in that I was able to create a life that was very different from the one that I was born into. But those of us who come from my background, you're not really going to hear from us because, one, it's hard to escape. And two, if you do escape and you create a better life, the culture dictates that you stay quiet and you keep certain things within the community, you keep things to yourself. So you're not going to hear a lot of people talking about the reality of the community that I grew up in. There's a woman in my family who had an even more difficult upbringing than I did. She was born into a family where the father passed away and her mother had to raise many children. There was a lot going on in terms of violence, so physical violence, terrible emotional and psychological violence, and even sexual abuse. Incest was all around. It was just a reality. This woman got pregnant at a relatively early age and had the child out of wedlock and had this baby in her mother's house where she was abused even more because of the shame that she had brought. And she had to suffer every day with this baby. So, against that background, against that very, very difficult and precarious situation, she met a man and she saw this man as her savior. She had to because life was just so unbearable. Anything could be better. And the man agreed to marry her and raise her baby that was not his. She left her mother's house and she went to live with her new husband. But it was probably one of the worst things that she could have done. He didn't kill her, but he came close to doing so many times. He would sleep with a cutlass under his pillow. So, just in case she woke up any night and wanted to have any thoughts of escaping, he would be ready to stop her. He set the house on fire once with the children and her inside. They didn't die. It was, one of the worst kinds of situations that people can experience. And a lot of people go through this. A lot of women who look like me go through this and suffer in silence. And you don't really hear about it necessarily until they are killed. And then we go, oh, this is a problem. This is a pattern. But it is reality for many people. I cannot sit here and judge this woman for making the choice that she did to go and live with this man because she didn't have many options and she had hope that things would change for the better. I sympathize with people who are vulnerable and leading very difficult lives because I know what that means. I'm very close to people from Venezuela, so the people who I've worked with, who I've had the most respect for. Most of them would prefer to be living in their home country, but they simply cannot right now for many reasons. And I completely, completely understand those who are looking for a hero to come and save them, to make things better because things are so difficult. But when we make that decision, what if we know that this person who's supposed to be a hero, what if we know their track record? What if we know what kind of person they are? What if we know that they have done nothing but caused death and destruction everywhere that they've gone? And they have a history of abuse, exploitation, and violence. If we had that information available to us, would it still be understandable to look to this person to be a hero to us?